Hi, Dan Lyle here, the owner and founder of LylePublishing.com. And I'd like to briefly tell you and show you how I might be helpful to you in assessing your needs. First of all, let me reassure you that I'm not trying to sell you some expensive, complicated Lyle program. Indeed, you probably are leery of programs, and with good reason. Now, typically, the leaders of groups or businesses will get excited about implementing some big program, and then they'll do their best to get their people to participate and give it a really good try, only to have it do what? Either produce little, be a total waste of time, or even to have it crash and burn and have things worse than they were to start with. Where a lot of time, effort, and money was put out for something that produced very little in return. What I'd be happy to do for you is to help you to determine your real needs, and then to look at a whole spectrum of possibilities for helping with meeting those needs. And finally, to carefully experiment to find out what really is acceptable and works for you. All right, the first step in the process is to find out what you really need. And I say that because people will often come up with things that they think they should need, rather than what they truly desire for their group. How would we do this? Well, either by email, by live video conferencing, or in person. I would ask you hard questions and then assist you in your figuring out your own answers to those hard questions. Now, why do you need me to do this for you? Well, it's because often people are caught up in their immediate responsibilities, and they're frantically doing the work that has to be done today, or they're simply too close to the situation in order to sometimes even see the questions that most need to be asked. Also, the most important questions often cannot be asked at all, at least by people within the organization or group. And if you did try to ask those often very difficult, delicate, and demanding questions, you would be labeled as a troublemaker, as a heretic, or as an enemy. And you'd be promptly silenced, demoted, thrown out, or fired on the spot. Now I, as an outside consultant who's not a member of your group and who's going to be gone soon anyway, all right, I can ask even the forbidden questions. Those questions that are critical, that without coming up with good answers to them, your forward movement is often greatly inhibited. And I have a talent at asking hard questions. And then very politely, very respectfully, drilling down deeper until we get to the root of the problems that are holding you back. And when we identify what's really keeping you from getting to where you want to go, then we can start making progress at finding effective effective solutions to those problems. But it really all comes back to the initial hard question. And that is, where do you really want to go? Where do you really want to go? And to sincerely hold that aim, whatever it is, you have to be willing to do the things necessary to get there. Now, a lot of groups and organizations have very well written and elaborate vision statements, mission descriptions, goals, and objectives that sit in a file somewhere or on a computer somewhere and do little or no good. If asked what they are, few members can tell you what they are. In fact, most in the organization probably don't even know that they exist at all. So, the answers to the hard questions cannot be just pretty pieces of paper that no one ever looks at. Rather, they have to be woven together into a living document that is continually updated, that is relevant, and that is used in the day-to-day business. I can help you do that. Now, if I were consulting for you, this is what we would produce: a living document that answers the hard questions, starting with, what do you really want for your group or organization? And from that aim, everything else flows naturally. And with that then as your center point, the vision, the mission, the goals, the objectives, they all make sense. But without that very clear, crisp aim, that which you really most want for your organization, in other words, you're willing to do what it takes to achieve it. Without that, everything else is nebulous, ephemeral, and insubstantial. Now, if you'd like me to work on this, then I'm available for consultation. But you can do it on your own. And you don't have to pay me a whole bunch of money. All you have to do is to purchase and download my more than 500-page book that walks you through this whole thing. And it costs a whole $10. And it will take you step by step through determining your true needs, defining your associated vision, setting your best aim, correctly determining the best mission that will support meeting your aim, and orienting properly your necessary goals and objectives for $10. So if you have some interest in this book, which is called In Search of Quality, Principles, and Mechanisms, then I invite you to look at another short video that I've made in which I take you on a quick tour through the contents of the book. You can see what's there. And a link to that short video, that other short video, is right above the picture of the cover of that book that's located on my home webpage at lylepublishing.com. Or if you would like to ask me about other consulting possibilities, to possibly be done by email, video conferencing, or even in person, then please feel free to email me at Dan Lyle at lylepublishing.com. Or if you have any other concerns, questions, or comments, email me also. I look forward to hearing from you if you wish, and I thank you for viewing my Answering the Hard Questions consultation video.